Hello students. So in the last class we have discussed the synopsis of evolution chapter. So today we will move on to the MCQ. So let me read the first question. The genetic drift operates in. So you already know that what do you mean by genetic drift. So genetic drift, it is nothing but a random change in the gene frequency. Okay, a random change in a gene frequency in a small population. So whatever changes will take place in a small population, so that generally we call it as a genetic drift. Okay, it is a random change in the gene frequency in a small population. So what does it means? Operates in means, first one, a small isolated population, second one, large isolated population, third one, non-reproductive population, and fourth is the slow reproductive population. So it's the first option, small isolated population. Okay, it works only on the small isolated population. First option. Second one, which of the following is the correct sequence of events in the origin of life? Okay, so in the origin of life, what are the first steps or the sequential events which takes place? So let me read all the sequence, then we'll arrange in order. First one, formation of protobionts. So protobionts means you already know that it is the first form of life, or the formation of first form of life. Then second one is the synthesis of organic monomers, and third one is the synthesis of organic polymers, and the last one is the formation of DNA based on the genetic system. Okay, so these are the, among this, in the sequence order, it is first comes the synthesis of organic monomers, then comes the synthesis of organic polymers, then formation of protobionts and formation of DNA based on genetic system. So it is a third option. Second one, third option. Next, which of the following structure is homologous to the wings of the birds? So you already know the definition or the difference between homologous and the analogous. Homologous means the organisms which is having same origin and structure, but they have got different functions. Fine. Origin and structure will be same, but function will be different. For example, forelimbs of bat and the forelimbs of man, where the origin and structure is same, but function is different. Fine. So here, among this, which is an example for homologous organs, they are saying. First one is the hind limb of rabbit, flippers of whales, dorsal fin of the shark, and the wings of the moth. So among this, it's the second option, flipper of whale. It is one of the structure for the homologous organ, that is the wings of the birds, similar to that wings of the birds. Next comes the analogous structure. So analogous structures are the result of, so analogous means you know where it has having a different origin and structure, but they perform same function. Function is same. Okay, just a minute. Okay, analogous, here in analogous it is called reverse of homologous. In homologous, origin and structure is same, function is different. In analogous, origin and structure is different, function is same. Fine. So analogous structures are the results of, so they are the results of your shared ancestors, stabilizing selection, divergent evolution, and the last one is the convergent evolution. So it is an example for the result of the convergent evolution. Okay. Next, fifth question, the industrial melanism is an example of. So industrial melanism, you already know that, and we have taken the two examples here, that is the color of moth. One is Bedson Vitellari, and another one is the one is white moth, and another one is the black color moth. So here in industrial medicine, what are the difference has been taken place before the industrialization and after the industrialization, and the variation in its populations, So here this industrial medicine, it is an example for first one mutation, neo-Lamarckism and neo-Darwinism, and next one is the natural selection. So industrial melanism, it is an example for natural selection. Natural selection means it is a selection of well adaptive features, means selection of well adaptive organisms. It's a fourth option, natural selection. Next, which is the most common mechanism of genetic variation in the population of a sexually reproducing organism? First one, genetic drift. Second one, recombination. Third one is transduction. Transduction is nothing but the transformation of genetic material from one bacteria to another. Then next comes the chromosomal aberrations. So here among this, it is the second option, recombination. Here it is one of the most common mechanism of the genetic variation in the population for sexual reproducing organisms. So it's the second option, recombination. Next, which of the following had the smallest brain capacity? So among these Homo neanderthals and Homo habilis erectus and Homo sapiens, among these Homo habilis, it is having a very smallest brain capacity. It's approximate nearly 650 to 800 cc of brain capacity it is having. Then when it comes to the Homo neanderthalans, it is having nearly 1350 cc of brain capacity. Homo neanderthals 1350 cc brain capacity. Homo habilis 650 to 800 cc brain capacity. Then Homo erectus, it is having 800 to 1100 cc brain capacity. And last comes the Homo sapiens. In the Homo sapiens, it is a more, it is having nearly approximate 1200 to 1650. 1200 to 1650 brain capacity. Okay, so among this Homo habilis, it is having the smallest brain capacity. Next, the random unidirectional change in the allele frequency that occurs by chance in all the populations, and especially in the small population, it is known as small population. Means it is ultimately it's a genetic drift, or that is the random change in gene frequency in a small population, not migration, neither natural selection or the mutation. So it comes under the genetic drift. Fine. Next, the genetic variation in a population. Genetic variation in a population, it arises due to. So what are the main reasons for the genetic variations? First one is the recombination. Second one, mutation as well as recombination. Third one, reproductive isolation and selection. And the last one is the mutations. So among this, it's the second option, mutation as well as recombination. Mutation as well as recombination, it is brings about the genetic variation in a population. Fine. Next, what was the most significant trend in the evolution of modern man? This modern man, nothing but the Homo sapiens, and what are the changes or the significant has taken place from modern man to from his ancestors? First one, shortening of jaws. Second one is the binocular vision, and third one, increasing in cranial capacity, and the fourth option is the upright posture. So among this, the most changes which brought in the modern man, it is the increasing in the cranial capacity. So again here, the brain capacity of Homo sapiens, it is more. It is nearly 1200 to 1650 cc. Fine, that's the brain capacity in the human beings. So 10th one, it is third option, increasing cranial capacity. Next, peripatus is the connecting link between. So peripatus is a connecting link between Annelida and the Arthropoda. Annelida and the Arthropoda. Okay. So peripatus is a connecting link between the annelid and the arthropoda. Neither it is in the mollusca and the echinodermata, the coelenterids and the poriferans, then ctenophore and the platyhelminthes. It's a link between the annelid and the arthropoda. Next, evolution is the occurrence of first one, homologous and analogous organs, homologous and vestigial organ, analogous and vestigial organ, then homologous organs only. So you already know the definitions of all these terms. So it is an occurrence of analogous and vestigial organs, third option. Next, which of the following amino acids was not found to be synthesized in the Miller's experiment? So again here you already know that the Miller's experiment, Urey-Miller's experiment, in that experiment completely the primitive atmospheric condition was created in the laboratory condition. So it mainly includes the mixture of chemicals like methane, ammonia and water at the ratio of 1:2:2. So among this question, which of the following amino acids were not found to be synthesized in the Miller's experiment? Alanine is there, aspartic acid is there, and the glycine is there, except glutamic acid. It is not synthesized in the Miller's experiment. Fine, it's a fourth option, glutamic acid. Next, the thorns of bougainvillea and the tendrils of cucurbitaceae, they are the examples of first one, vestigial organs, second, retrogressive evolution, then analogous organs, and next comes the homologous organs. So, thorns of bougainvillea and the tendrils, both, what is the difference? Here they have got same origin and structure. They have got same origin and structure. That is the thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbitaceae. Origin and structure is same, but the function is different. These thorns, they will help for defense mechanism, whereas the tendrils, they will help for providing an external support to the plant body for the growth. Fine. So it is an example for homologous organs. It is fourth option, homologous organs. Next, which of the following statement is correct? There is no evidence of the existence of gills during the embryogenesis of mammals. Then second, all the plants and animal cells are totipotents. Then ontogeny repeats phylogeny. The next comes the stem cells are specialized cells. So here it's the third option, ontogeny repeats phylogeny. Means here the organisms, they will show the characters of its ancestors. Okay, so generally it is a biogenetic law where it states that the organisms exhibits the ancestral characters. It's the third option. The random genetic drift in a population probably results from first one, highly genetically variable individual interbreeding within this population, then constant low mutation rate, then large population size. So it is the second option, interbreeding within this population. That is a random genetic drift in a population results from interbreeding within these populations. Second option. Then industrial melanism is an example of Okay, so next question. Industrial melanism is an example of first one, drug resistance, second, darkening of skins due to the smoke from industry, third one, protective resemblance with the surroundings, and the fourth one, defense adaptation of the skin against the ultraviolet radiation. So you know that what is melanism, industrial melanism, and what are the changes has been taken place. So it's an example for third option, protective resemblance with the surroundings, third option. 18th, in a random mating population in equilibrium, which one of the following brings about a change in gene frequency in non-directional manner? So among the following, which will bring a change in the gene frequency in a non-directional manner? First one is the mutation, second one is the random drift, and third one is this natural selection, and the fourth option is the migration. So among it is a random drift which brings about the change in gene frequency in a non-directional manner. It's the second option, random drift. Next, 19th, which of the following is most important for speciation? Speciation is the formation of new species. First one, it is a seasonal isolation. Second, reproductive isolation. Third one, behavioral isolation. And the fourth one is the tropical isolation. So it's a second option, reproductive isolation. It is important for speciation. Seasonally, behavioral and tropical, it is not the much more important characters which is considered for the formation of new species, but the most important it is the reproductive isolation, second option. Which of the following are homologous organs? First one, wings of birds and locusts. Second, wings of birds and the pectoral fin of fish. Then wings of bat and butterfly. Then legs of frogs and cockroaches. So here, which of the following for homologous organ? It is the second option, wings of birds and the pectoral fin of the fish. Next, genetic drift operates in first one, small isolated population. Second, large isolated population. Third, fast reproductive population. And the fourth one is a slow reproductive population. So it's the first option, small isolated population. Genetic drift operates in small isolated population. Next question. Who is directly related to the man? Who is directly related to the? Okay. 22. Who is directly related to the man? First option, gorilla. Second, rhesus monkey. Actual rhesus monkeys here. Next, gibbon, and next in orangutan. So it is the first option answer. That is, gorillas are directly related to the man. First option. Next, which is the most important factor for the continuity of the species from evolutionary point of view? So among the following, which is the most important factor for continuity of the species? First one, replication of genetic material. Second, formation of gametes. Third, synthesis of proteins. And the fourth is none of this. So among the following, it's a replication of genetic material. It is the most important factor for continuity of species from evolutionary point of view. First option. Next, 24th, phenomena of industrial melanism demonstrates. So phenomena of industrial melanism demonstrates first one, geographical isolation, reproductive isolation, natural selection and induced mutation. So it is the third option, natural selection. Natural selection, it is a phenomena by which industrial melanism is demonstrated. Means here you can see that in the natural selection, the species with well adapted features can be selected by the nature. Okay. Next, which of the following are homologous organs? First one, wings of birds and hands of man, nails of human beings and the claws in animals, and the wings of birds and wings of insects, wings of bat and wings of cockroach. So it's the first option, wings of birds and hands of human beings. It's an example for homologous organs. So where they have got same origin and structure but function is different. So wings of birds, they help for flying, and hands of man, you know that, help for holding of the objects. Fine. Next, the correct order is, so among this, which is the correct order? First one is the Paleozoic, Archaeozoic and the Conozoic era. Then Archaeozoic, Paleozoic and the Proterozoic. Paleozoic, Mesozoic, the next comes the Conozoic, Mesozoic and the Archaeozoic, and next comes the Proterozoic. So when it comes to the eras, the sequence order is the first comes the Paleozoic era, then next comes the Mesozoic era, then third comes the Conozoic era. So it's the third option. Next, the study of fossils is called as study of fossils is actually study of fossil, it is known as paleontology. Next, herpetology means it's a branch of zoology which deals with study of amphibians and reptiles. Zoology means it's a study of lizards. Actually, study of lizards, it is called as zoology. Next comes the organic evolutions. Fine. So among all this, with the study of fossil is known as the paleontology, first option. Next 28, the parallelism is first adaptive divergence, next adaptive divergence of widely separated species, adaptive convergence of widely different species, adaptive convergence of closely related species. So parallelism means adaptive convergence of closely related species. It's a fourth option. Next, the basic principle of embryonic development were pronounced by Von Baer, Weismann, Haeckel and Morgan. Fine. So among this embryonic development, it was generally pronounced by Von Baer. First option. So you know the contributions of Weismann, Haeckel and the Morgan's experiment. So 29, that's the first option. Next 30, evolution is it's a progressive development of race, history and the development of race along with variation. Then history of race, development of race. So evolution is nothing but it is a history and development of race along with variation. Along with variations, it's the second option. Next 31, so just up to 30 it's okay. So remaining just you can have a glance. Some of the questions are there. You can take these questions. Just what are the contributions of these scientists? Fine. Next comes the hummingbird and the hawk. It illustrates first one convergent evolution, homology, adaptive radiation and parallel evolution. So hummingbird and hawk, it illustrates the adaptive radiation. Next, the change of lighter colored variety of peppered moth, that is Bedson vitillaria, and the darker variety Carbonaria. It is mainly due to mutation, regeneration, genetic isolation and the temporal isolation. So it's the first option, mutation. 35, mutation. Next, the homologous organs are those which shows the similarities in appearance, function, origin and size. So it's the third option, origin. Which period is dubbed as the age of prokaryotic microbes? Prokaryotic microbes, it is the Archean, Archaebacteria. Okay. Okay, next question. 38. Fine. The presence of gill slits in the embryos of the vertebrates, they supports the theory of first one, metamorphosis, second, biogenesis, third, organic evolution, and the fourth one is the recapitulations. So here the presence of gill slits in the embryonic of vertebrates generally supports the recapitulations, fourth option. Then next, the two geographical regions separated by high mountain regions are two geographical regions which are separated by high mountain regions. First one is Nearctic and another one is the Palearctic, and Neotropical and Ethiopian, or Oriental and Australian, and the Palearctic and Oriental. So it is the fourth option, Palearctic and Oriental. They are the two geographical regions which are separated by high mountain ranges. 39th, fourth option is 40. Which one of the following changes involved is irrelevant in the evolution of man? Perfections of hand and tool making, then change of diet from hand nuts and hand roots to the softwood. Then loss of tail, increase in the ability of to communicate with others and the develop community behavior. So it's the second option, change of diet from hard nuts to hard roots to soft food. Fine. So for T it is the fourth option. Okay. Next question. So which of the following evidences that does not favor the Lamarckian concept of inheritance of acquired characters? So Lamarckian theory, which concept does not accept for the inheritance of acquired characters? First one, lack of pigment in the cave dwelling animals. Second one, melanization in the peppered moth. Third one, absence of limbs in snakes. Then the presence of webbed toes in the aquatic birds. So among this, it's the second option, melanization in the peppered moth. Next, which of the following is a pair of homologous organs? First one, pectoral fin of rohu and forelimbs of horse, wings of grasshopper and wings of crow, lungs of rabbit and the gills of rohu, then wings of bat and wings of butterfly. So among this, the pair of homologous organs are first option, pectoral fin of rohu and the forelimb of horse, first option. Then next 44, the process of mating of individual which are more closely related than the average of population to which they are belongs to, means among which the organisms belong. It is called as inbreeding or inbreeding. Means it's a process of mating of individual which are most closely related than the average of the population which belong to them. So it is known as inbreeding. Next, evolutionary convergence in development of, first one, common set of characters in a group of different ancestors. Then dissimilar characters is closely related group, common set of characters in closely related groups, then random mating. So it's the first option, common set of characters in a group of different ancestors. Fine. So that's about the evolution questions. Hope it's clear.